Hello, students, and welcome to another screencast with Mr. Swan. What I have for you to do today is a little bit of review on astronomy in preparation for our question and answer session with the astronomer coming up over in the beginning of May. But before we get to that, we might as well do picture of the day. So this is the most comprehensive map of the moon's geology yet. The Unified Geological Map of the Moon, released April 20th by the USGS, which is the United States Geological Survey, as it's called, combines information from 6 regional lunar maps created during the Apollo era. So this was a really long time ago. What happened is that different Apollo missions would go up, they would map and take a look at different sections of the moon. And really what happened was some discrepancies started to arise. Those discrepancies arose because the Apollo era maps were created by separate research groups. And then if you have multiple teams looking at something, maybe those teams were not really coordinating with each other, then you could start to maybe interpret things different ways. So they saw that. Some of the labeling really wasn't the best. And so the idea for this map was that why not make something that's the most comprehensive, the most accurate that we've ever done. And so that's what they did. So it is color-coded, and I'll show you a whole bunch more about that as well. This slide, as all my other ones are shared with you, is one of the first things I shared with you in the Google Classroom, so feel free to click on it. But you have a whole bunch of links for you over here, and I figured I would start clicking some of these. So I have the research paper, which is what I got from, images to a bigger image, and then the video of it actually kind of moving around. And I figured I would start with like the video, which is right over here. Each color section of this moon represents different rock types. So some are talking about lava flows, and other ones are kind of more about the actual craters. And the idea is, what is the underlying rock base of the moon? And if you wanted to build a space station, where would you put it? Might have the rock types are probably going to have a really big influence on that. Maybe not only just for structural, but actually for mining, which could actually be a really big part about this as well. So this kind of goes and shows, and you can see like how many different craters there are actually all over the moon, and each one is highlighted with a color to kind of make it a little bit easier to go ahead and actually to view. And it goes and continues, and it goes around and around, and it's pretty. But you might be saying to yourself, that's a lot of detail, but I want more. And you can have more detail. And that's what these are. So right here is actually the USGS website where actually this article actually came up from. You can actually go and actually download these actual maps. And then this is what it looks like. It even takes my computer just a little while to actually load it. But if you were to zoom in on any of these, like how about we go like right there. You see some of these actually craters actually in areas of the moon actually even have names. They talk about different points that things have landed on them and the different rock structure. And then you see like how nicely kind of color coded this is. And then if you want, you can go up to the color code portion over here. And it talks about the different types of rocks that are there. So when they're talking about like the Mar, that's all about like lava flows. There were like interior molten rock that came up to the surface of the moon during that one time period. And you can see it's kind of over one section of the moon, but not really too much over other sections for sure. So that definitely will influence the rock structure underneath. And so they have a really, really nice kind of thing on here. Talks about different craters, Eratosthean craters. Hopefully that name sounds a little familiar because we talked about that a little while ago. For the guy who did the shadows and then worked the circumference of the Earth. It was something we did way back in Unit 3, so a long time ago. So kind of a neat thing to kind of take a look at and see like what people are actually doing. And then this map over here is the north part of the moon, and then the other part is the south part of the moon over on this side. And this is like the entire moon cut open and then kind of laid flat. Is there distortion? Yes. So every time you take like a round sphere and you actually kind of try to make a nice rectangular map about that, it's definitely going to be a little bit more distorted towards the tops. And towards the bottom of it in particular, but a little bit more accurate towards the middle part of the map. The actual research paper, in case you want to go take a look at this one. This one's way shorter than the other one I actually showed you before, but it shows like the different maps and how they kind of got it and what their methodology of actually kind of doing this and what they kind of hope this will work for in the future. Mostly it's for space exploration in particular. So just kind of a neat thing that's been going on. And then we might as well get to your assignment today. So in your assignment today, right underneath your classwork description, which is this one right here, we do have that Google Meet on May 6th, 10:15 a.m. to 11 a.m. I have already sent you out an email that had like an invite to it, you can hit yes if you want to accept. But I'm kind of assuming you'll be there because I haven't really heard anyways. If you can't be there, make sure you let me know by the end of May 3rd. May 3rd is going to be a Sunday. I will double check. May 3rd is a Sunday. So you need to let me know by Monday morning at the very latest, because I also have to go through and grade this assignment as well and see what those kind of questions and then forward them along. If you can't be there, again, let me know because I'll have to make an alternate essay assignment for you. And so this is a relatively quick form, just in length, but it talks about who Dr. Rapson is, what should you do to prepare, and what kind of questions you might want to ask. The question is totally up to you. You can ask whatever you like. I've seen people ask questions about like college degrees that you need to kind of go into science fields. It doesn't have to be just about space. It could be really about anything, and maybe just college in general. You can ask about the different telescopes they have, how to become an astronomer, what's it like being a scientist, what do you do at the observatory, what's going on with the solar system, exoplanets, stars, black holes, lots of new stuff that comes out about that almost all the time. You can talk about moon or space travel. She's quite an expert, so feel free to come up with any kind of question. How to come up with a question kind of goes into part 3, which is, should you read about astronomy and kind of refresh yourself to get a better idea? Yes, definitely yes. So how to do that? So my link to my website's right here. If you go ahead and click that, you'll go to my most important links. Our astronomy units were Unit 1 and Unit 2, so feel free to click those, and you'll see that it goes right back to Unit 1 and then Unit 2, which is other parts of astronomy. Maybe you want to go through those and see if there's something on there that you don't really 100% understand, or maybe you want something explained a little more. Some people have issues and have had trouble in the past, but like, why are black holes black? How do we know the distance for the observable universe? Things like that. Feel free to come up with those kind of questions. Really, this is an opportunity for you. I thought it might be nice to see somebody talk about space that's not me. So, and try to get you an expert. So I hope you enjoy it. This form kind of goes on. There's a picture of Dr. Rapson. I put it right in there. And then on the bottom of the form is, what is the question you would like to ask? And then you go ahead and type that question in, you hit submit, and then your job for this assignment is done. I'm kind of assuming that you will actually spend some time going through those past students, kind of taking a little bit of a read, kind of a little bit of a refresher. We did those back in September, October. That's like 8 months ago. So you might have kind of forgotten some stuff. That will probably help you on out when we kind of move on to some of the discussions that you'll have with Dr. Rapson. So take some time to review that. Also, feel free to read some other sources. Like maybe you want to go to like nasa.gov. You can go to space.com. There's astronomy websites that are really kind of go into talking about like what's new in astronomy as well. Those could kind of help feed you as well. If you want to submit more than one question, that's okay. Just type in your one question, hit like enter, and then just write the next one underneath it. So there's not technically a limit that I would give for you. So besides that, that's what I have for you to do. So read that stuff, take a look at this, make sure your schedule is freed up that you actually can be there, and then try to think of a question, type it in, and then we'll see how it goes. I'll forward some of these questions to her ahead of time, but probably during the session she would actually like to talk to you, so you might actually just be able to ask your question right to her right then. So hope you enjoy. Have a good day, and I will see you on Monday as your next assignment based on the time this will take. So this one, make sure you do it soon. This is due, I think I even wrote this in the classwork description. This is a sharp due date of May 3rd because I need to go through these questions and send them into her. So make sure you get it done because there won't be any late points for this one. Besides that, have an excellent day, and I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.